And the poolside.
Thank you, everybody. This is our poolside theology number 2. And so Jamie and I are going to be talking about Jamie's spiritual journey and just anything else that comes to his mind that's relevant. So thank you very much for your time, for being willing to do this, and for helping to put the service together. And so my first question for you is, how did you arrive at UUSMC? That is, tell us about your spiritual journey.
Okay, well, I want to start with these. I brought some swim paddles with me because it's poolside and brings to mind swimming. Anyway, I do swim some laps, and when I do, I sometimes use these. And what happens with a swim paddle is it creates more resistance as you're pulling through the water, right? So it's maybe a little bit more difficult, but it creates a better workout for you. Interesting thing about swim paddles, in addition to creating that resistance, it also helps you improve your stroke. And so the moral of the story is that sometimes doing things the harder way is actually doing things the better way. And that is very much my people, my Pennsylvania German Protestant background. We were EUBs, Evangelical United Brethren, and we would look to do things the hard way. I think we were suspicious of the convenience and easy ways. So we'd work harder, not smarter necessarily. But anyway, the church was just a block from our house. So Sunday mornings, I'd find my clip-on tie and my little sport jacket, and my 2 older brothers, and my mom and my dad, we'd head to church and enter through the back entrance and up the back stairs and into the wooden pews. And, I didn't always pay a lot of attention during service. Mine would go everywhere. After service, we'd have coffee time like we do here, and then after that, there was Sunday school. And Sunday school was always interesting because, a lot of my friends were there, and we had a lot of fun. Prayer time, I always remember prayer time that kids would tend to want to see what else was going on. So one eye would be open, and then Johnny would say, "Teacher, I saw Tommy peeking during prayers." And even that, I thought that was hilarious. But there was also this one time when a boy raised a question about maybe the unlikelihood of heaven or something like that, and he was sort of poo-pooed as being he was just a doubting Thomas. And I really kind of took that to heart, and I sort of thought about that, and I think that I'm very much a doubting Thomas in many ways. So anyway, but I love the community, love the potlucks, the strawberry festival and the peach festival, and I think there might have been some other kind of festivals there. We had youth fellowship. We had Christmas pageants and Christmas plays. Benji Clink, the minister's kid, one time during a Christmas pageant, hijacked the microphone and he said, "Car 54, where are you? Car 54." And people just love Benji. He was irreverent. So love that community. Just after college and afterwards, just got away from church for a number of years. Always had a yearning for being more in community and for finding a place. I would just hear a song on the radio, and it would be maybe inspiring or maybe even something that brings some tears. And I always thought, why can't there be a place where people can just sort of come together and share like this? So it took me a number of years to find the Unitarian Universalist Society of Mill Creek. My wife Claire told me one time, hey, you should check out that new church on Polydrum Hill Road, and with our daughter Blair, that's, I think around 2004 was when I joined. So, and it's, I think it's just about sort of filling that need, that yearning for connection and community.
For other people. Remind the congregation about the roles that you've played since 2004 up to, through today.
A couple. I was originally part of the finance committee for a few years, so I have great appreciation for the work of the finance committee. I did lead the stewardship. Now, this is different from the land stewardship, so we talk about congregational stewardship as sort of pledge time and talking to congregants about their support of the church. I was on the board for a term. I worked a lot with the children and youth program, with the RE program here. There were a couple different curriculums, all of which I thought were wonderful. One curriculum this was primarily for middle-aged kids, called Neighboring Faiths, and we would take the kids and we'd visit different churches, different synagogues. We went to the Hindu temple here in Hocassin. We traveled to Lawrenceville, New Jersey, and visited the Sikh temple there. They fed us. They have it. I think they have something figured out. They have food every time there's worship. And it's interesting because the food is considered a gift of God and is just shared freely, which is kind of a wonderful thing. We visited the National Mosque in Washington, D.C. with the children. We had an exchange with the Islamic Society of Delaware. So we went and visited their youth, and their youth came here, which was amazing. So Neighboring Faiths, we also had Coming of Age, which is where the kids think about their personal beliefs, and then toward the end of the class term, they actually come to the pulpit and share with the congregation their beliefs and their understandings, which is just amazing to see. I've been involved with Our Whole Lives, which is the OWL program that the UUA and the United Church of Christ put together. It's a comprehensive human sexuality program, and which I think there is a huge need for these days. And that was, that was a great deal of fun. We had quite a few. There's training that we go through to become an OWL instructor, and very, very worthwhile time, I think. And I've been involved with the choir, and I've been involved with the land stewardship here. So, so keeps me busy.
Well, also, you were on the recent search committee.
I meant to mention that, which was wonderful. And hopefully will be a good transition for the church here.
Yes, and I know that I think you attended General Assembly this year, and you have that shirt on.
This is a shirt I got in Baltimore at the GA with love at the center, which I think is really appropriate for the day.
So you talked. You used the word finding a community, finding your community. So I guess, is that what keeps you coming back? I've been here 20 years. You've been here 21 years, something like that. And so I'm just curious: is that the major thing about it, or how would you characterize community in our case?
I think that's really the heart of the matter. Is we're human beings, and we need to connect. I'm not great at that, and I think that, all of us, we're all so different, and we can't always, we're having a conversation, but we can't always fully understand each other, right? So there's always this separation, but we need this, right? We need to come together. That's I think the main part about being a human being. That's our greatest need is just that connection. And I have to one of my two senior projects. The one is the land here at USMC and working to restore that and helping native plants to thrive. My other project is I'm working with a small group of people who are working to build a co-housing community in the northern Delaware area. So I think that the way we've done housing is less than ideal. I think we waste a lot of green space. I think many people have more room than they need, and then a lot of people don't have enough room or don't have any room. So co-housing is a more environmentally sustainable way of building. It's higher density. But it also is designed, physically designed, the culture is designed to encourage connection between neighbors, to encourage some cooperation. So I own my own little townhome, but there's some common space, and there's a common kitchen and a common dining area. So a few meals can be shared together during the week. So anyway, that's something I'm involved with, and I think just the idea of anything we can do to facilitate community and connection is of real value, and I think that's especially true in this time, in this political climate. I think it's vitally important that we connect when we can.
Thank you. Do you have a wish for our congregation, or more than one wish, perhaps? For the going forward, we've talked about the past, we've talked about the present, and in thinking about the future, do you have any thoughts, any wishes for us as a congregation?
I have a few wishes.
Okay.
We have, first of all, very important transition. I hope I know we will. We will send Reverend Christian out with love and with appreciation for the wonderful job he's done as our interim minister here. And I know we'll also do a wonderful job welcoming Reverend Christie. I think it's really exciting. I think there's really some possibilities. I just believe they will bring some significant energy and probably a different way. So folks, buckle your seatbelts. I think that, we may be asked to get outside of our comfort zone and to try some new things. And let's do it. Let's embrace it, and let's give it a try. And I think this can be a very, very exciting time for us. There's this Bible story, the loaves and the fishes when Jesus feeds the multitudes.
I don't know if I need a refresher on that or not, but...
Well, here's the thing. Jesus went to the Sea of Galilee, and these crowds gathered, and he spoke to them, and they got hungry, right? Does anybody know what Jesus' state of mind was when he went to the Sea of Galilee that day? He wasn't excited to have the crowds. He was hoping to get away. There was a pretty significant event that happened just before that. King Herod had beheaded his cousin, John the Baptist. So Jesus was grieving. He went to the Sea of Galilee like we might go to the... He wanted to get away. He just wanted try to figure this all out. The government had brutally taken the life of someone in his family. So, I think Jesus was a little overwhelmed at that point in time. And then this little kid says, "Here, Mr. Jesus, you can have my..." When the crowds were like, "Hey, we're hungry, you better feed us," or, I don't know, people get... I won't go on too much here because we have a potluck after, so people weren't going to want to get to their food.
I'm watching the
But I just think of that little kid, and here, Mr. Jesus, here's my lunch that you can share. I think the little kid's the hero of that story, isn't he? Or isn't she? I mean, that's a story about, it's not that there's not enough food, right? It's just we need to share it, right?
So that's community.
That's community, and I hope, my wish for the church, I think we have that kind of spirit. I think we have that kind of generosity, but let's keep that spirit of that little child who just wanted to be a part, just wanted to make a contribution. And I think just, sort of got the crowd thinking, hey, there's enough food, we just need to share what we have.
Well, that's kind of, we're talking about the food bank. We haven't been talking about that, but that brings to mind the appeals that we're having for the food bank. Jamie, is there anything else you'd like to say?
I struggle with the divide between agnosticism and atheism, and sometimes I feel like I want to be more atheist because I want to be more of a counterbalance to the white Christian nationalism. And I mean, agnosticism seems so rational and reasonable, but I sometimes feel like, and then we talk about mysticism. So it's just, I don't know, to me, it's amazing to me the challenge of trying to figure all this out. But it's a wonderful journey, and it's worth looking at and thinking about.
Well, thank you so much for agreeing to join me in this conversation, and I appreciate the fact that you were willing to share your journey and to help us get excited about the future that we have here.
Thank you.
So.